Howdy, people. It's Rodney again. Well, hello, Mister again. How you doing? I'm doing all right. How you guys doing? I mean, it's another day above ground, you know. I just wanted to go into kind of a short story, I guess. This past March, was probably the worst month I've ever had in my life. Now, I've lived quite a while. Not as long as some, quite a bit more than others. But, this goes out to my grandmother, who, on my mom's side, who passed away in March. Was my best friend. I talked to her almost every day. By phone, you know. She was kind of my mentor, you know, to a point. And I remember our last conversation we had, and this was before I went into the hospital, almost dead myself. And I told her that, you know, because I had that overwhelming feeling that one of us was about to die. And I said, one of us is going to go pretty soon. I said, either you're going to go first or I'm going to go first. But we need to make sure that we're ready, you know, we're right with God or whatnot. And she just said, that's right. Got to always make sure that we're always ready. And next morning, my sister gives me a call and tells me Grandma passed away at 3:30 that morning, which was about 5 hours after I talked to her. You know, I just posted a video about rejection and stuff. I mean, rejection fits in the category of all those negative things that happen in our lives sometimes. I'm glad she is where she is, you know. I miss her. You know, not bad enough that I'd bring her back if I could, because she's doing better where she is, you know. Anyway, what do you do when you have problems like that, where it's like so overwhelming that they crush you? You know, and the only thing they don't do is actually take your life. All I know is that God did not allow Satan to take me, to kill me or whatever, you know. That wasn't right. Well, are you right now? I'm working on it, you know. I mean, I believe that it's an everyday thing, you know. You hear some preachers, you know, talk about walking the path. I mean, you know, the Bible talks about that, right? Walking the path, the crooked path, the untraveled or rarely traveled path. It's crooked, it's rocky, it's like walking around on a mountain. It reminds me of that movie, you know, Hobbit. What is it, that last one, you know? Battle of the Five Armies or something like that. They're walking around that mountain. And, you know, it's not stable, the footing they had. Now, the mountain's pretty stable, obviously. It's pretty big, right? But around the rocks and stuff like that. So the crooked path is like that. You know, on a side note, I will say, when my grandpa passed away in 91, how odd is that? I talked to him the night before he died by phone. again, there's my word. But I will say I often wondered, how am I going to deal with it when she passes? Because I knew that I gave her no more than a year. And I told my uncle that. I've got an uncle who's 3 years younger than I am. That's kind of funny. Really call him my cousin to most people, so I saved the having to go through the explaining the uncle story, but I'll explain it to you. But, my mom's dad died when he was 45 years old. She was 15, I believe. So my grandmother ended up getting remarried at some point, having a baby, born 3 years after I was born. Well, so he's my uncle, but he's really my cousin. But he's a good guy. I don't even remember what the point was to that. I'm human. I don't have all this written down. I'm not scripted. I don't want to be scripted. But anyway, I often wondered, how was I going to deal with it? Or how am I going to? Because, man, I'm used to talking to her a lot. Now, a lot of people may think that's corny. A lot of people may think that's cool. I don't really care which one it is, but so now I'm forced to deal with it, March seems like it was 2 years ago, almost. But good grief, man, what is it, 3 months ago? It's just, 3 months ain't no time. When you get older, you start understanding time. Time goes by so much faster the older we get. Ain't that right? Like when you're young, a day is like forever. A week's like, good grief, man, I gotta wait a week on this. Nowadays, it's 2 years later already. I mean, what is it? It's 2019. I mean, I'm probably gonna wake up tomorrow and it's gonna be 2019. No, but it seems that way. So all I know to do is to try to do what I told her needed to be done last time I talked to her. Is to try to make sure that I'm right. Right doesn't mean that I don't say a cuss word every so often. Right doesn't mean that I never act bad, or I never get upset about something, or I never get down about something. I never do anything human ever again. I mean, that's what a lot of people think that is. I don't cuss, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't have any tattoos. That tattoo thing, that's hilarious. Now, if you don't like tattoos, you disagree with tattoos, I mean, that is super cool. I mean, you know what I mean? Everybody has a right to either be a vegetarian or be a flipping carnivore like me. I look extremely carnivorous right now. But, try to get this to not be too long, but, there were a few times I picked up my phone to call her and tell her about something, after I got out of the hospital. Once while I was in the hospital, I was going to call her and let her know where I was at. And I spent about a week laying in a hospital bed, wired to the wall. Seemed like, had a PIC nurse come in and put a PIC in my left arm. And that was a trip. I knew there wasn't any skating and skirting and running or whatever, you know what I mean? Put on the doctor's coat, get a clipboard, and walk out of there. As I was, had that thing all the way up to my heart, so there was no way I could really, Anyway, I'm guessing this video thing's about to cut down. Just gonna say, man, God's there even when it doesn't look like He's there. When everything else fails, I guess it's just faith. But we gotta work on. Anyway, thanks again. You guys have a blessed day, and you can reach me at RODNEY, B as in boy, WARD, @gmail.com. Thanks again. Love you guys.